Okay, it's story time, and like you might have seen from the title of this video, I let go of a good client. And here goes to say that having a great relationship with a client doesn't necessarily mean that they are the best fit for you. Now let's get right into the gist of the video. Or should I share this story?
Okay, let's go.
Let's get into the video. Hi, I'm Damilola Amoshuka. If you're new here, I'm glad that you stopped by. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always watching and supporting this channel. Now to the gist of today. So I had approached this client for a specific role since I was transitioning my services and business into a specific role. And rewinding back to the discovery call, I noticed that number one red flag, I was getting pulled into taking extra responsibilities and additional tasks. And hey, I didn't mind because I was going to be doing the specific role that I had approached this client for, which brings me to lesson number one. Clearly define your role and responsibility. When you're signing on a new client, there's that feeling of excitement. Oh, I'm going to be signing on a new client. I'm going to be getting additional income, that we tend to ignore all the gray areas of what are the specific tasks and deliverables I'm going to be offering these clients, the services that I'm going to be offering these clients, making it very clear so that you understand it, the client understand it, and having it clearly written in your contract to say, hey, this and this and this XYZ is what I'm going to be doing, so that you are safely within your boundaries. Can I be honest with you? When I first started my freelance business, I was confused. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to talk to clients, let alone set my rates. On discovery calls, my throat was really dry. And working with clients for years and years has helped me to create a system, template, script that has helped me run my business smoothly. Now you'll find everything in the freelance data toolkit that I created just for you if you find yourself in the same situation like I was back then, from welcome packets to onboarding to offboarding to your receipts, your invoicing, your discovery call guide, even a journal, a business journal, to keep you grounded and organized all year round. I'm going to leave the link in the description so that you can find it and download it, so that you don't have to stress and waste time like I did. Now let's get right back to the video. On that discovery call, I had agreed to take on the additional tasks for a certain period of time to increase my rates after a timeline, and the client had agreed. But the second mistake that I made was I forgot to put it in writing, which brings me to lesson number two. Make sure you have a solid contract, and make sure that everything goes into your contract, no matter how little. Make sure your rates goes in there, your deliverables goes in there, every tiny single thing that you're going to be doing, make sure it goes into that contract. Now, if you have a lawyer friend around you, now is the best time to have them review your contract for you. If you don't, I believe we have a template in the freelance toolkit, and I'll leave the link in the description, so you just go there, download it, and save yourself headache. Now let's fast forward to when I was supposed to increase my rates. Remember that I had said that I was going to do the job for a specific timeline and then increase my rates, and the client had initially agreed, right? Wrong, because she declined when it was time to increase my rates. And this left me with a choice of either to continue working at the old rate or let go of the client, which brings me to lesson number three. Know your worth and stick to it. I know that most times as freelancers or service-based providers or entrepreneur generally, you just kind of wonder, where's the next client going to come from? I mean, we have this thing of, oh, we don't know when the next client is going to come in or where they're going to come in from. And then sometimes we tend to settle for less, but we actually need to know our worth and then stick to it. You don't want to be put in this stereotype of cheap labor. I mean, if you have worked with a specific set class of people and if you know that say, oh, I hire from you this thing because I want cheap labor, you don't want to have that mindset of yourself. All right. I mean, yes, you are charging based on the location that you are in. If you're living in a certain location and you are, paying a lot for probably your rent, mortgage, and all those things, you want to be charging a certain rate. But if you're living in another location, you want to be charging accordingly. But however the case may be, know your worth, please, and charge accordingly. Let's talk about the kind of clients that you should be working with, because remember at the beginning of this video I had said the fact that you have a great working relationship with a client might not necessarily mean that they are the best fit for you. So what type of clients should I be working with, Damilola? Somebody is asking me. Number one, make sure that it's a client that values the services that you offer. I mean, they know that because they are hiring you, you are going to do XYZ for them, which is maybe going to save them time. Maybe they don't know how to do it themselves. They know the value and the worth that you bring to your business or to their business. Make sure that you're working with somebody that knows your value and then knows your worth. Number two, make sure that it's somebody that is able to pay. Now, some people would want to work with you ideally because they know the quality of your work, but might not be financially capable to work with you. So make sure that their clients are able to pay. Make sure their clients that pay on time as well. The next one I'm going to talk about is to make sure that it's a client that aligns with your business goals, which brings me to the mistake that I said I made in number one. I had been wanting to shift my services to tailor it to a specific role, and I got pulled into the responsibility of taking additional tasks which were not necessarily in the specific role that I wanted to work in. So make sure that their goals, their business goals, aligns with yours. Okay, as a service-based provider, make sure it aligns. Make sure there is no, how do we call this thing? Make sure there is no friction in alignment with both your goals. That's what I mean to say. Finally, I would say that make sure that the services you offer brings results to your clients. They see tangible results that they see to their business, maybe growth, maybe business awareness, whatever the case may be. Maybe you are taking off things that would necessarily take them time to do. You are handling those aspects of their business for them. Just make sure that they see tangible results from the services that you offer. That way you get your clients to work with you long term, and you also get them to refer you to their friends. So yes, I let go of a good client, a client that I loved working with, but it taught me to know my worth, to set my boundaries, to strengthen my contracts. These are the things that I learned from this experience with working with this particular client. And hey, who knows, maybe sharing, you learned a thing or two from my experience as well. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed, or even share with a friend that you feel actually needs to watch and learn as well. It was nice chatting with you. Also, don't forget to use the link in the description to get a copy of your contract. It's all encompassed in the freelance data bundle that we have there. You have your contracts, your welcome packet, your invoicing, you just name it. We have all in there. You'll find the link in the description. Till the next video.